Today we're going to talk about what we think our best bunny investment ever was, and that is our bunny playpen. Why pick a bunny playpen in the first place? Well, the golden rule with all rabbits is that you should try and make their living area as big as possible. And with a playpen, you can make it far, far larger. So a normal hutch, at least in the UK, is roughly 140 centimetres long for an extra large one, about 70 centimetres wide, 50 centimetres wide and 70 centimetres high. Whilst a bunny playpen you can easily get up to for an 8-panel set to up to like 4 or 5 square metres, which is far, far larger. The RSPCA recommendation for outdoor hutches in the UK is a 3x2x1 hutch, whilst in the indoors you really want to have your bunnies able to do 3 full hops and to be also about 2 feet wide and 2 feet high, so they have plenty of room to spread out. For this, really, you need about 6 foot of space, so many indoor hutches and cages don't fulfill. Even with just a hutch, you're going to want to give them a bit of a run, which they can always explore and not just come out in the day when you're indoors and you're supervising them if your bunnies aren't free roam. And so because of this, a bunny playpen, even a small one, is a great addition on top of a hutch to expand the space the bunnies have to play in. So why use a bunny playpen instead of a separate room in your house? Well, maybe you don't have a separate room in your house. So in our house we have 2 bedrooms, one of which we use as our office, one of which is our main bedroom. We don't have space to have a full separate room for our rabbits. So instead they live with us, which we actually prefer. It allows us to be closer with them, allows us to let them out, and creates a stronger bond between us and our rabbits. Another reason to use a bunny playpen and enclose the whole area off is to protect the walls and the skirting boards potentially from nibbling bunnies, instead of just pinning off one corner of a lounge. It is worth still mentioning that you will need to let the bunnies out, to have a roam about and to play, to come see you, to interact, to explore, to climb on new toys, to run about. Even a pen which is 4.5-5 square meters in size is still relatively small compared to what bunnies are used to outdoors in the real world and what they really want. And so because of this, you're still going to want to let them out. You can't just leave them in there all day. The bunny pen which we picked is actually a puppy pen. And so this is made out of galvanized steel, so when the bunnies chew on it, it isn't going to damage them. It's 1 meter wide and it's about 80 centimeters high. And so we did consider going for the meter high one because Smudge, our English Spot, really likes to jump and climb, and she can from a jumping start get up to the top of this 80 centimeter one, but she doesn't do it very often. So we thought we'd be safe with this, and she's never escaped normally from this, apart from when we were bonding her one time and she got a bit freaked out and wanted to escape. So this playpen is made by Doggy Style, which is made by a company based out of Gloucester in the UK. We quite like it. It's really solid. It is quite heavy. You don't need to go quite as serious as this. I think it was about £80 when we bought it. However, the most important thing is the number of panels which you have and the size of those panels. So really you're going to want at least 6 to 8 panels at the minimum, each about 1 meter wide. And depending on your rabbit's desire to jump and to escape and to climb on things, you're really going to want either an 80 centimeter or probably 1 meter high. If you have bigger rabbits, like you have a giant, then you're potentially going to want a more hardcore frame, something which would be designed for potentially a bigger dog may be more useful, and you're going to want to make sure it is at least 1 meter, if not taller. So our bunny playpen is made of 8 panels, but we will extend that using a whiteboard or 2 across the back in order to make it even a bit bigger. This allows us to get up to closer to 6 square meters, kind of a 2x3 sort of arrangement, using those extra panels. Obviously, the trade-off you have between making your pen versus your bunnies is a trade-off in space and also flexibility. Being able to put it on in a corner, you might be able to give them more space than if you were to open up, say, an 8 or 6 pen panel into the maximum configuration as a hexagon or an octagon. We recommend that you get a bunny pen, and it doesn't really matter what type you get as long as it's tall enough and sturdy enough for your rabbits and for your sizes. Our rabbits are about 2 kilos, so they aren't going to jump out of ours, and maybe a galvanized steel one, like which we have, is maybe a bit overkill. But we would prefer to have the safety of having a more serious pen than having one which is a bit flimsier. We recommend you get at least one with 6 to 8 panels, preferably 8, which are a meter, each panel being a meter long, so you get up to close to 5 square meters in size. So this is really valuable, gives them a lot of space, allows you to put more toys in the area, allows you to mix it up, allows you to put their hutch inside of the area as well, so they have that as like their safe sleeping area, and that's where they go and use the litter trays, rather than having it all freeform. Make sure that the bunnies have permanent access to the bunny pen wherever you're using it, and don't just use it as a way of having a controlled area where they can be let out. It's really, really important that they have as much space as possible. We bought our bunny pen 7 years ago, a couple of months after we got Smudge, and it's been invaluable. We found it really, really useful. It's allowed us to give them far more space, allow them to explore, have their own territory, and to be free at all times. It also means that when we do go away, they are safe and they have a large space, much larger than when they are boarded, and we can have someone come over and look after them. Which really is probably the best thing we've bought in helping us be bunny parents, giving them more space and keeping our peace of mind. So thank you for watching this very first video. Click here for the latest one, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.